Hello, everyone, and welcome to Volvox. My name is Eleftheria, and today we have a very special interview for you all. We are going to be speaking with Thomas, who has an amazing product. Before we do that, please don't forget to check out the description box for all of the links, both from Volvox and from Thomas as well. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Thomas. Welcome. Would you like to share a little bit about your background?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for having me, Eleftheria. I'm very excited. So my name's Thomas. I'm 21 years old from Adelaide, Australia. I'm currently a fourth year, kind of in the middle, a computer science student. And yeah, I'm working on my own sort of software products in my free time, hoping to sort of transition into hopefully a full-fledged business by the time I graduate by the end of the year.
How do you find the time to work both on your university stuff and your side projects?
Well, at the moment, I'm on uni holidays. So I'm on uni holidays until the end of February. So I've got a couple more weeks left and we have a big break because it's summer here at the moment. So I've got a lot of free time. I do some work part-time as well, rowing coaching. So coaching at a school in my city. So I have a lot of free time at the moment to work on my projects, which is great. I've been able to sort of get a lot of work done. But during the uni semester, I try to time all my classes so they're on one day, which gives me lots of time to work throughout the week to sort of get things done as well. But it's definitely a balancing act because I'm, having to go away or working and stuff like that. But whenever there's free time, I try to fit it in.
It seems like you're managing it really, really well. I don't think that
Thank you.
everyone can do that. And now, would you like to share your product? Maybe you can share your screen so you can see it a little bit better and
Of
talk
course.
about your inspiration, how you built it, why you built it, and how people can use it.
Let's do it. So basically what I'm building is an app called Frostbyte, and it's designed to sort of be a bit of a project planner mainly for developers and their projects. So over the last couple of years, with AI and stuff like that, there's been a huge emergence of a lot of people wanting to make their own startups, wanting to make their own apps, products, games, all this kind of stuff. And there's plenty of all this kind of software out here. There's Trello, Jira, and all of those. But I've used these for my own stuff to plan my own projects, and I've always found that they've been a little bit bloated. They have a lot of complicated features, they're expensive, and there's just a lot of things, and they're designed more so for really big companies that sort of have big budgets, big technical experience, and they are willing to invest more time into these products. And I felt like a lot of it can sort of be streamlined, and it can also be a little bit more tailored towards developers and their products. As these big companies try to appeal to a lot of people, I'm trying to appeal to just one group, which is developers and maybe their sort of organizational team with their business or marketing people as well, so they have an idea of the project. So basically, if we sort of scroll through the landing page here, it's designed that you can break things down into tasks, areas and releases on a fundamental level. So most software and applications, they like to break things down into versions such as your MVP, your minimum viable product. So trying to identify what features are the most important for you, and then version 1, 1.2, or smaller ones like 1.2.1 and all of that. Because I sort of found when planning my projects, especially when I'm trying to start something brand new, I always think, oh, this is a great idea. This is a great idea. This is great. This is great. I got to do all of it at once. And I think that when you sort of think like that, you kind of get a bit carried away, and you just keep continuously thinking of more and more features, and you never ship things out. So what Frostbyte's designed to do is from the start of your project, you can create these releases and these versions and sort of plan things out in any way you want. It doesn't have to be 1.1. It could be, January, February, 2026, 2027. You can do, it's very flexible, but it helps you sort of split things up properly so you're not trying to bite off more than you can chew. And it takes inspiration from a lot of the other planning tools by having these Kanban boards, which help you sort of drag things and see how they work, what you have to do, what's in progress, what's complete. Areas lets you group things into, technical related aspects. You could also do business related aspects like marketing or like business registration and legal stuff. So it's very, very flexible. The landing page is targeted a bit more for developers, and it also connects with your GitHub as well. A lot of developers like to do really particular issues and pull requests and stuff like that, and the app's directly integrated so that your Frostbyte workflow can work with your GitHub backend as well, and they're perfectly in sync. So yeah, it's sort of designed as a competitor to these other tools that's at a slightly lower price point, and that's targeted for big teams as well. A lot of these big applications, they sort of price themselves for users. So if you've got a team of 10 people, you need to pay for 10 subscriptions to sort of be able to access the features. But how Frostbite's marketed at the moment is that if you have one premium account, you get access to all the features with a certain number of collaborators, and you can get more with the different levels of plans. But it allows for really quick collaboration as well without teams having to worry about spending so much money so quickly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like how you have everything like linear, Jira, Trello, so we can see all those features, what each tool has. I really like that.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about pricing as well, and then you can ask me any more questions as well, but it's designed to be sort of in the same range as the other tools, just slightly undercut.
Yes, I also noticed that. Good job there as well. Would you like to show us a demo of how it
Yeah,
actually looks like?
of course. My projects aren't fully fledged out because I have to balance the local production environment with the main website. So I've got a bunch of different products and a bunch of different versions, but I can show you a sort of really quick fundamental of some of the core stuff here with Frostbite. So here's a sort of dashboard here. It just greets you with important information. You can track bugs as well. That's something I did forget to mention. There's a way to split things between features, improvements, and bugs. And I'll get back to bugs in a second as well. But here's a dashboard that shows the important information. You've got the current release you're working on here, some tasks in a list here. And if we go to the tasks page, you can see here, it's that Kanban board I was talking about. You can filter it by your releases in your project or features and bugs as well. And then areas and releases, I won't look into them too much, but it's a way to sort of manage them here. And getting back to bugs here, one of the features that I've just been working on recently and shipped last week is the feedback hub. So I think that another sort of thing that I identified as well is that a lot of people, when they're trying to make their startups, they really sort of struggle to find the right channels to get feedback or find user issues from their platform. So what the feedback hub sort of acts like is it's a public portal for developers to be able to get that kind of feedback. So if I click on this link here, so you can see here, this is a publicly accessible link. And then what users can do here is they can report bugs, features, or give just general feedback for the product that you're working on. So if I'm going to report a bug, if I can do something simple, just such as login page not working properly, just a simple little bug. Probably, there we go. I'll leave the other stuff out for now and just submit that bug report. So what will happen is that will get put into this under review section. So it gets sent to the sent to the developers. And then if we go back to my Frostbite page and I refresh here, what you'll see is that shows up as pending here. So we can see that, okay, this user submitted this bug report. You can have a look at it. There'll be a bunch of the information here, all printed out. And then you can say, okay, what do I need to assign it to? Does it need to be put to a specific thing? And then you can create that task. So then what that will do is it will automatically create it as a task. So if I go here, I should find it. There we go. Login page not working properly, submitted by the feedback hub. And then if we go back to the feedback hub as well, there's also a way for things to be identified on a public roadmap as well. So if we had features that we wanted to say, hey, this is coming soon, it's currently in our plan stage, or we're currently working on this, or we've just shipped it, you can link this roadmap page to your on your product as well, so that any users that might be interested can see the roadmap, as well as be able to see, has their request already been suggested, is it something that's already planned, etc., etc. So that's a big feature that I've been working on recently as well, and integrating that, because I think it's a good way to sort of tie those things together, because there are a lot of tools that can already exist similar to this that allow you to sort of submit user feedback. But that's another subscription that you have to pay. And sometimes those are even more expensive than these planning ones. Like all of the ones I've found have been like $30 a month or something like that. It's quite insane.
Yeah.
I think they're quite linked together. So I've tried to make a system to sort of like cross that bridge.
Yes, and I think I saw somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, that there are some analytics or statistics that people can have, or no?
Not at the moment. I think analytics is something that I've got planned for user stuff, but at the moment we've only got analytics just on the back end for sort of planning out sort of like statistics for the app. The only statistics like an analytics that I can sort of think of, it's a bit compressed here because of the screen sharing, is just the project health. You can sort of track how things are going for your version and release. So if I was to go to the tasks here for a specific version, like version 1.2, and just move some of these things over to done here,
Mhm.
if I go to the releases, you can sort of see here that it sort of tracks
Yes,
what
that's what I
it,
meant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. It sort of tracks what's it called? What's been done and by how much. But yeah, there's no descriptions. It's not fully grammarless yet because I've got a lot of it in my local environment as well. But I think that sort of gives a rough idea of what things look like.
Awesome. So I see that you already have a lot of features. It's almost complete, but you talked about other features that you also want to add. So for how long have you been working on this?
Well, that's that is a funny question. So I would say that I've probably had the idea for this application 8 years ago, like a really, really, really long time when I was little. But I don't think that I was sort of at the technical level to sort of really make something like this. I didn't really know anything about programming and stuff like that. But over the last couple of months, I sort of really wanted to nail myself down with a proper project that I think would be useful to me, be useful to my friends, and be useful to others. So I started working on this in around July last year. June,
Uh-huh.
July. And then I got a lot of the way done. I had to take a bit of a break because of uni exams and other commitments. But then I got back to work on it towards the end of the year, sort of really locked in and got a lot of work done over November, December, and sort of officially released it. I would still say it's kind of in a beta phase because it's still early and growing. But I've kind of released it end of December and I've been working on it throughout with January as well.
And in such a young age, because you said you had this idea like 8 years ago, you're now 2021. So at the very young age, let's say 13, how did you had this idea? Were you using similar tools like Trello or Linear?
Yeah. Well, I've always loved coding. Like I've been coding since I was 12 years old
Amazing.
and making my first websites and stuff like that. And I guess I just sort of saw these cool tools and I sort of said, wow, this is really cool. Like maybe I should try and make something like this and, not have the ability sort of whatsoever to do it.
Yeah.
But like I've dabbled with so many different things, making websites, making video games. I think video games is one of the things that probably inspired this the most because you have to plan things out a lot for stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I used these other tools and sort of found them a little bit complicated for what I was doing, which gave me the idea. But over the last couple of years, like I've had so many projects, a lot of them sort of just for learning. Some of them I plan to revisit later as proper business perspectives. What's it called? Objectives. Sorry. I feel like this is something that has been within my scope and something within my reach. So this has been one of the first proper projects that I've sort of really tried to ship all the way from 0 to 100. Well, not 100 because no project's ever truly complete, but from something where I'm able to sort of actually release it and develop it and grow it by myself. And if it eventually becomes really successful, I'll be able to grow it with others as well.
And I also wanted to ask, what technology or what AI tools did you use to build this?
Yeah, 100%. So I coded this one in Visual Studio Code as my sort of main editor using Node.js and TypeScript on the back end, and then using HTML and SCSS on the front end with TypeScript as well. And deployed through Heroku, which is all really cheap and really easy to sort of learn software. For development as well, I used heavily Claude Code and ChatGPT's Codex by OpenAI. And I think over the last couple of years, like ever since the release of these big AI models, like the entire software development and software engineering industry is just completely changed. And it's become so easy for a lot of people to sort of develop and ship any idea that they can sort of think of. And it's been really interesting to watch as someone that has like sort of technical background or technical experience, because I can see that a lot of these people are trying to make these products, but not really understanding what it is they're building or how it is they're building. And it's caused them to sort of make things that probably aren't, as high quality as they could be. And I also do think that, using these tools, like, you're stupid if you're not using them. Like they get things done so quickly. Like I had projects from 2022 before ChatGPT officially came out that I was coding, by hand, and it just took months and months and months. And then ChatGPT came out and like a year and a bit later I was using it, and I basically like added all of these new features that would have probably taken me 6 months in like 2 weeks, like a week. It was just insane. So using Claude Code and ChatGPT Codex together has like really carefully as well to make sure that I'm sort of still trying to ship things with quality and not getting it to do all the work for me has just been like, it's been able to make me so efficient and sort of really get things done that would have taken me so much longer.
I absolutely get that. And it's very interesting talking to you. As we said, you're a younger person. I'm in my 30s. And all the other chats and the interviews I had were with people that they already had a lot of experience before AI. And all of them actually said that Cloud Code is one of the best tools right now out there. But I would like to get, once again, like your perspective. How is it like coding with AI's help? And if you believe that young people that are starting right now should have a background at coding without AI tools and then going to AI, or would you say that it's okay to just go ahead and start using AI tools?
I think that's a really great question. And I think that sort of, it kind of bridges on what I was just saying before. Like, I think you need to have an understanding of what it is you're doing and what it is you're building to sort of truly be able to make something, you know, of quality. I think it's great that a lot of people are really trying to sort of get into the industry and stuff like that and learn these new skills. I was saying the analogy the other day to a friend, like, let's say you're driving your car in the middle of the country and your car breaks down on the side of the road. You got no idea how to fix it. What are you going to do? Like, I feel like you can't use something without understanding how it works and what you're actually doing. So I think the same sort of philosophy applies to coding. Like, while I use these tools and they do so much of the work for me and sort of hold my hand with it, like, I think that if I didn't have an understanding of what it is it's building, it would just make something not great. And I notice so many times that like it makes something that's wrong, or it does some error, or does something that's really, really unoptimal. And I sort of have to go in manually and sort of fix it and clean it up. And if you're working these things without experience, it's really likely that you're going to get really large file sizes, really large and complicated code that doesn't need to be that complicated. And if, you know, your idea is successful and you try to grow it with more people and they're going to see your code base and try to work on your project and they're just going to have no idea because it's too complicated. So I would say that I think for young people trying to get into the industry, use these tools to help you learn, but you need to make sure that you use them to help you learn first rather than get it to do all the work for you. It can't be a cheat code. It has to be it has to be like a calculator. It has to help you get there.
Yes, so far most of the people that I interviewed said exactly the same thing. So I think it's safe to say that this is now a conclusion. It's okay to use AI tools, but it's better to understand what you are doing. And all these AI tools can really help us. They can help us with our productivity, but in the end, we do really have to understand what's going on behind the scenes. Thank you
100%.
very much for that. And as we're getting in the end of this conversation, do you have any upcoming features that you're really looking forward to add in your product? And do you have any thoughts about creating any other product, or will you stay focused on what you have right now?
Sure, I can answer both those questions for you. So I would say the next big feature that I'm sort of working on for Frostbyte, I'm trying to research into integrating it properly with Claude Code and these other AI agents, because I think that while having things visualized on a planning board is really great and helpful, I think it would be really powerful that if we can write these tasks and write these things that need to be done with good detail, if I can find a way to sort of integrate it with these AI tools, you'd be able to come up with an idea for a feature, make sure your idea is properly developed, maybe using AI to help you develop that idea, and then integrating that directly so you can use AI to sort of complete that task for you. So that's something I'm looking at researching, and I haven't really done much, to be honest, but I think that's something that has a lot of potential to really help boost people's development. And I have a couple of other minor features that I'm sort of thinking of, like making an easy way to generate release notes and stuff like that with your releases. But I think this AI feature is probably something I'm going to look at first before that. But if what's good, you can have a look at the project. I'll have a link on my website for the roadmap to be able to sort of see these ideas visualized as well. As for other projects, I do have a couple. I have one other project that I'm working on at the moment called Roll Call, and it's a mobile app. It's kind of like a BeReal from a couple of years ago. It's a little social challenge app where you and your friends make groups, and then in your groups every day you get daily challenges. So then you have to complete and post a photo of you doing this daily challenge, and you build up like a little streak. It's just a little bit of fun. And then a big thing it's kind of popular here in Australia, it's really popular in America, is there's this thing called fantasy football punishments, where you predict what teams are going to win, and then if whoever in your friend group like has the worst predictions, they have to do some sort of punishment, some sort of stupid challenge. And some of my friends have done that, and it's so funny. Like it's so embarrassing for them. We always laugh at them, but I thought this was a really cool idea. So I added the idea into the app where if you break this challenge and stop doing it, you have to post yourself doing some punishment, some random one like the group picks for you. So that's something I'm working on as well on the side. And that app's going great as well. Just a bit over 1,100 people have downloaded that from around the world, which
Wow.
has been, it got really popular towards the end of last year out of nowhere. Like I made it in like around March or April, finished it up around June, July when I sort of transitioned into Frostbyte and just sort of left it on the App Store. And then I checked it in like November, and 600 people had downloaded it, and it had made some money as well. And I was like,
Wow.
whoa, how did I not know about this? So then I got working on it a bit more alongside this, and I'm trying to balance both of them because it's two quite big projects. But Frostbyte's been taking up a lot more of my time recently, but that app's been going great as well.
Wow, that's really, really cool. I actually didn't even know that thing existed maybe in my
No,
country.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe for the people who don't know it, I'm from Greece. Maybe here it's not very popular, but yeah, like
No, it's still
1,000
new.
people
It's
is
still new.
amazing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I haven't marketed
congratulations.
that one too much. Yeah. Thank you very much. But that one's going to be, hopefully I can grow that too. And then that's probably it for those are my two main projects. I think if I do any more projects than that with uni and work, I think I'll be biting off way too much more than I can chew.
That's already a lot. And now that you
Yeah.
mentioned marketing, what are your plans for marketing Frostbyte?
Yeah. Well, marketing is something I have very little experience with. So I'm trying to learn on the job here as well. I've been trying to sort of build in public on Twitter and sort of growing with that aspect, but that's all really, really new to me. And I think it's its own game in itself. So that's something I'm looking into a bit more. But something I want to look at working on over the next week or so is potentially going into YouTube as well, because I know from my experience, I see a lot of YouTubers and people in this sort of area trying to build their own YouTube channels, just talking about their product or talking about their life in the technology sector and stuff like that. And I always like those videos. I feel really engaged by it. And plus seeing other people be successful inspires me to be successful too. So that's something I really want to look at working on, because anyone, of course, who's looking for those kind of videos are likely to be in the niche of Frostbyte. So if they're in that niche, they might be interested in downloading the app and stuff like that. But I'm still learning. Like it's only been a month or so of marketing, so I've got plenty of time to sort of figure things out over the course of the year.
Since I'm working on the marketing and community side of Volvox, I would say that you're in the right direction. If I was in your shoes, I would probably do the same thing. I would use social media a lot. I would use Twitter or X a lot. And then, of course, YouTube. I think it's an amazing platform, and a lot of new people can get to know you. A lot of people are interested about personal stories, but also tech stories and more dive in things like how you actually build something. So yeah, I think that you are in the right direction. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for our lovely interview. If I'm not mistaken, I think that something that you are looking right now is to get feedback for your product. Is that right?
Yes, 100%. Any feedback. I think that's the most important thing for building a product. You need to get people using it as soon as you can and get their feedback, so you get out of your own head and get some real thoughts from real people.
That's true, and we will try to help you with that. So for everyone that is watching us right now, do check the description box. We will have everything linked out. If you have any feedback, we would appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much for our interview. It was lovely having you here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eleftheria, and thank you for the Volvox community as well. It's really great to sort of be part of it and see other people's stories as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it grows too.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
See ya.